Okay, so are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Manish.
Okay, chill, thank you. So we are going to start one new topic, stack and queue. So the first question comes, why we need to learn stack and queue? Okay, so to answer that question, so stack, let's first discuss about the stack. What is that? Okay, so suppose you are in canteen. Okay, so there is a lot of plates, okay, available. So everyone goes near to the plate deck. Okay, suppose these all are plate. Okay, picks one plate out and you go for a lunch or whatever. Okay, another guys come, again this guy come and pick another plate. Again another guy come and pick another plate, and similarly. So and what happens, suppose all the plate is empty, the vendor comes and put some more plate. Okay, like 4 5 more plate vendor can put, right, like this. So it's like, once you are, so if this is the stack, so once you are, someone is pushing the plate, or maybe the vendor, okay, pushing the plate or keeping it, we call it as push operation. Okay, we are pushing the plate. Some people are waiting. Okay, so we call it as push operation. So once push is done, so some people come and pop it. So this is pop. So this is pop operation. Okay, one more example I'm giving you. So suppose today I searched yahoo.com. Okay, again I search, let's say, my Gmail or GitHub. So browser keeps on pushing all this data in history. So if you go to history, you will see the history in order, like whenever whatever I am searching, it's keep on pushing and it's on like time. So here you can say, so at this time I searched for Google, I searched for OneDrive, I searched for this. So this is kind of pushing everything. And suppose if I deleting it from here, remove from history, so this is called pop operation. Okay, so at any point of time, I can know like what is the top element. So I deleted and I can know this is the my top element. Okay, again let's say I deleted this element and then I can say, yeah, this is the top element. Okay, so what additional benefit we are getting if we are using the concept of stack? So the concept of stack and queue comes with underlying concept of time and space complexity. So it says, so push operations should be in order of one complexity, pop operations should be in order of one complexity, top operations should be in order of one complexity. So major operation is push, pop, and top. Okay, in case of stack, and all should be coming in order of one complexity. This is time complexity. If I talk about the time complexity, so obviously it will taking order of n space. Okay, yeah. So this is the high level overview of stack. So what is it, and what is the constraint, like if we are designing some stack and stack operation. So this is high level view. So any question till now? All okay?
Manish, what about traversing? Like, do we traverse stack?
We don't need to know, right? Because if we are designing the stack, once we are saying we are designing the stack, so stack supports only 3 operations: push, pop, and top. Wherever you learn stack, so it mainly supports 3 operation. It does not support any traversal within the stack. So that is not a stack. Then it is again array, right? It's not a stack. So a stack is again one abstraction, you can say, abstraction over, maybe you can say abstraction over array and linked list, array and linked list. Okay, so this is one more abstraction. So if you guys must be aware, so array list was one abstraction. Okay, but internal data structure was array. Linked list was one abstraction, but internal data structure was node. You guys remember, right? So here we are just wrapping it up again, but what we are going to wrap is this time maybe array list or array or linked list. Okay, any other question?
Manish, except array, like everything else comes under abstraction, is it?
Yeah, so whatever data structure is defined by language, okay, so array is defined by the language, right? So
Yes.
so it will come, it's the like we can say primitive data type, and another is called structured data type. Okay, and apart from that, or derived data type, apart from that, any data structure, whether it's tree, linked list, all are abstraction. We are abstracting it, right?
Okay.
So we can say like we can use few stacks in
Yeah.
those situations where we want to store the elements in a specific order, and
Yeah.
similarly for retrieval also.
So not a space. So order is always, so in the stack, so whatever is entered last will be extracted first, and we call it as a LIFO, last in first out. So what will be inserted into the last will be extracted first. So it's called LIFO. Okay.
Yeah.
So or there is no particular order you are storing in increasing order and decreasing order. There is
Order, I mean order of insertion.
Yeah, order of insertion. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, it's LIFO, last in. So we maintain the order of insertion, and this whatever is inserted last we will be extracting first, and that's why it's called LIFO operation. Anything else, guys? So first clear the basic doubt, and then we'll have the how we can design the abstraction, and we can think of that. Everyone is okay, right? Shall I move ahead? Okay. So going to the next concept. So as I guys told you, so it's based on 3 operation. So what is the fundamental operation? We call it as push, pop, and top. Okay. We may also need to check sometime is empty or not. Is empty or not, and what is the size of the stack. Okay. This 5 is the main method we need to implement, right? So again, so if we are designing any abstraction in Java, then what we do? We create interface, right? So we created one interface, okay, and it is having 5 methods. So these are the 5 method. Is empty will be returning Boolean. Size, what is the size of the stack? Push, I am inserting some element into the stack. Pop, I am getting some top element, like I am extracting top element. And top, I'm just getting the top element. I'm not deleting it from the stack. So this is the main difference between pop and top. Okay. But now the question arises how we can implement it. Okay. So this is the implementation. So we have to implement stack. So we are implementing the stack interface. Okay. But let's now let's have some understanding about the implementation of a stack. Okay. So the first thing comes, guys, if you know like how many element I need to store in the stack. Okay. Because in case of array list, I have shown you can copy if the list is increasing, right? So if the size, so suppose the size of the array here is 10, let's say it's 10, size is or data dot length is equal to 10, or let's say this is data array. Okay, so if this is 10 and the number of element I have to insert is 11. So in case of array list, I have shown like we can create one bigger size of the array and we can copy all the element. But here in case of a stack, we have constraint, right? We cannot do any operation more than order of one time. Whether it's push, pop or top. If we start doing that, like copying, then it will be taking order of n complexity, right? Because we have to copy all the element from the previous array to the new array. Okay. So in this case, I have to mandatory know the what is should be the capacity of the stack. So capacity is must to know, structure must to know, value. So suppose I know the capacity is 100. Okay. So, or let's say capacity is 10 for the smaller thing. Let's say capacity is 10. Now, what we can do if I know the capacity is 10, so obviously here index will be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight and 9. Okay. And the size capacity is 10 because I have to declare or data dot length is equal to 10. The second thing comes, so suppose I have done one operation called push. I added, let's say 2. Okay. Again, I added 3. Then let's say 5. Let's say 4, 7, 11, 2, then 11, or again, yeah, duplicate may be also possible. So if I have to, so push is fine. So, but how I can know like till where the element is present, right? I don't know till where the element is present. So for that, I need to know what is the index of the top element, right? So in the beginning, if I declare, so I can say one variable called top index, and then beginning, when the stack is empty, we can say the top index is pointing to -1. So if this is the case, then we can say yes. So this stack is empty. Okay. So suppose I added one element, that is 2. Okay, then once I am adding, so in the push function, so if I am writing the push function, okay, in the push function I can do data, so this is the array, plus first I increment this top index, let's say ti, and then I will be adding this 2. So this push should work, right? Okay, what about the pop? So if I am implementing the pop function, if I know, yeah, what is the element present, what is the index of the top element? So here the index is, let's say 6 is there. So I can do like this, return data of top index, right? But I have to decrement this top index also, right? So I have to decrement this in, so that like, and so that it will be next pointing to this one, and I have to remove this one, and to remove this one I have to assign it to null. So how I can do this change? Okay, so let me clear it, this pop function. So this is the pop function here. So first I need to get the answer. Okay, so what is the answer? Data of top index. Once I'll get the answer, then what we can do? We can decrement this ti minus minus, right? And then we can return, and then we can do one more thing. What we can do is we can, here we can do data of ti is equal to null. Then I will be writing, so I won't be writing here, then I will be writing ti minus minus, and then I will be returning then I will be returning answer, return answer. That's it. So this, and if I want to just perform top operation, so top should be very simple. So it's just like getting the return data of top, data of top index. Okay. Now let's go to the code. I think it makes sense to everyone, right? Or any question? I'll implement also so that you will get better understanding. Any question till here?
Manish, can we try implementing
Yeah.
using array list or
So I'll do
then
that.
the size?
I'll do that. Don't worry. I'll do that. Okay.
For now, the stack size is fixed, correct?
Yes. So if you do using array list, so internally it will be using the extra space, right? So to perform the top push operation, sometime what will happen if the number of element in this data array is already 10 and you want to add one more element 11. So if you are using array list, then array list internally what it does, it will increase the size to length 20. Okay, and it will be copying all the element here. So it will increase the order, the complexity to order of n for push operation. Even for pop, suppose you created, like you have earlier element 11 and now it decreased to 7, then what is the need of having that more space, right? You need to delete it again, you need to copy to the smaller array. So but the constraint for stack is always you have to do in order of one complexity for push, pop and top. Okay. Yeah, so I won't use the array list. Why should I use? Because I am always mentioning, so if someone is using the concept of the stack, then their main idea is he want to do the operation in order of 1 complexity. I hope.
Only for the 11th element, it will be order of n. Like the
Yes,
rest will
yes,
be like
yes.
order of 1.
Correct. And remaining the rest all operation will be in order of 1 only. But if one operation is order of n time, then obviously the whole algorithm computation will be in
Okay.
order of n
Okay.
time, right?
Got it.
Okay, so similarly, I created one final capacity of 100, okay? And this is the data. Here I am maintaining the top index, what I have explained it earlier. I can get the array also, but ideally this method should not be there in the stack. Then it's proper implementation. So what all method should be there is empty, size, push, pop, and top. This 3 method is there. So if top index is equal to -1, then obviously it will be empty, right? So it will be returning true. That's why I'm starting this top index will -1. Okay, what with the size? So top index plus 1 size. If there is no element, then it will be having 1 size. So because I am starting top index with -1, so it's top index plus 1. Okay, the next operation is called push. Okay, the first thing we have to check if size. Okay, so here 2 things come into the picture. One is size and another one is, so if I go here, where it is, yeah, so size is, suppose this is the array, so data dot length is 10, but what is the size of this stack? So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so size of the stack is 7, but the space what I am using is 10. Okay, so that's why if I go back again in the implementation, so if size is equal to data dot length means complete array is full, then you have to throw exception. You cannot add one more element, and we can return stack is full. And that's the reason you many time, if you are Java developer or any other language, so stack overflow exception. Okay, might be you guys are aware of stack overflow exception. So this is the case where stack overflow occur. Okay, and if we are using array list, then this exception will never occur, right? It will occur only if the RAM memories get over or all memory is consumed. There is no memory to allocate the further node. Okay, and here data plus plus top is E. I'm directly assigning. So obviously it won't be taking more than order of 1 complexity because it's only one operation, and that too is indexed operation. Okay, similarly for pop, if top is equal to -1, here you can also throw stack underflow operation. So okay, there is no item present in the data and you are trying to pop something, but here for now I have just returning null. If nothing is there, I will keep on returning null. So here 3 operation I am performing. Answer is equal to data of top index. Okay, and then I am assigning this top value to null, and then I am decrementing this top index, and then I am returning answer. Similarly, top, if it is empty, then return null, otherwise return data of top index. That's it. That's the stack implementation. It's very cool, very simple. Any question till now? Mayur, Nitin, Rishikesh, Pooja, Shubham, Shumet, Yash, Kapil. All okay? If yes, then please keep on typing yes or no, whatever you are typing. Okay. So this is very cool. Now let's discuss what is the problem of this. Okay, what is the challenges involved in this, or we can say array stack implementation challenge. Array stack or we can say it's drawback. Drawback. What all drawback is there? Okay. The first drawback is we should know the capacity in advanced. Right? If I am assuming that my stack won't go more than 100, okay, and say you are only inserting 2 elements in the stack, so you are wasting 98 memory. You got my point, right? So obviously it will be problematic, okay, and you are beginning estimating 100 element would be there in the stack, but you have to insert even 101 element or 1000 element, then again it will be problem because you cannot do operation more than 100 element. So this is one of the major drawback of array implementation. Okay, so coming to this part, when I am using less space, I am allocating more. This is fill rate. We can call it fill rate. Means, so size divided by length of the data, length of the array, what you are implementing. Okay, if it is closer to 1, then your implementation is good, your data is good. If it is very less, okay, your implementation is poor. Okay, so while you are designing any stack implementation, it's up to you, like what approach you have to take to implement your stack. Okay, so in some scenario, I may prefer array stack. In some scenario, I may prefer linked stack. But which one to choose? That's the great question, and it all based on why you need stack. If you know the answer of why you need stack, then I think you can probably select among array stack and queue stack. So this is the problem. Okay, so how we can resolve this problem? Okay, to solve this problem, we have called linked stack. Okay, so the next thing is coming is called linked stack. So I have already explained linked list. Linked list is collection of node where each node will be pointing to the next hop, next node, and the last one will be pointing to null. Here it will be pointing to head or begin or head. Okay, will be pointing to this one. Let's say I have 2, 4, 5. Can we use this linked list as internal structure to implement the stack? Okay, so if I say push operation, okay, so can we create one object of this linked list what we had, and I can say directly list dot add first. We have explained this method, right? Adding one element in the beginning of list, that we can do, right? We just need to create one node, and I'll be pointing to this one, and head will be pointing to this one. That's fine. So push is very simple. But if pop, again I can do list dot remove first, right? Remove first is also simple. So head will be pointing to this one, and this node will be deleted. Make sense? And what about, there is one more method called top. So top, I'll just, we had one method called list.first, right? So if you use list.first, then we can directly get the first element, that is top. Okay. Any question?
No, Manish.
Okay. Let us try to implement this one. Okay. So I hope you guys you have already implemented the single linked list. Okay. Similarly here, what I am doing, so I am implementing this stack. So I just created one linked list, new linked list. So I created one object of new linked list, and this linked list I was already created here. So this is the linked list. Okay, if you go here, so you must be seeing I'm importing that linked list class. I created this one. So is empty. So that if you go to this linked list here, every method is there, right? So here if you go, so here is empty method is there, size is there, last is there, first is there, add first is there, add last is there, remove first is also there. Okay, so what if I directly go here in the linked stack and I just keep calling list.isEmpty, then it will be returning whether my stack is empty or not. If I'm calling list.size, it will be returning where my stack, what is the stack size. Here I am doing list.add first, it will be doing push operation. Here I'm doing list.remove first and I am returning the answer to get the pop, again the top. So this is very good example of adapter design pattern. So if you guys have gone through design pattern, so this is adapting it, right? So this was my class and I made it to use as a stack. So this is very cool implementation. Instead of writing again that linked list class and doing everything, instead of here only in the linked list only create the node class and then doing all the operation, if I have already created this linked list class, then we can implement it very easily, right? So that's why I keep on storing everything. So in future, like wherever suppose I am using somewhere map in future for some graph representation, instead of using hash map with the Java collection, I'll keep trying calling my hash map. Why I will using Java collection, right? So that's how you will understand how you are implementing your data structure, how you are designing your algorithm, and what is the internal. If I say, yeah, Yash has pointed why we are not using the array list. Array list is already having, so we don't need to worry about the size. But we implemented the array list and we know. So if we are copying element, if we are incrementing the element, adding the more element, then we have to copy it. And in that case, our complexity is order of n. Okay. So that is the main reason we should understand the internals. That's why, so you know the internals of linked list and you can adapt it to make it as a stack. And now this is linked stack. Any question till here?
So, Manish, mostly we will prefer using linked list. Whenever we are implementing any stack problem.
That's the another question. I will be coming to that. Okay, that's very good.
Based on requirement.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. So I'll explain that. Don't worry. Yeah, sure. That's very good question. I was expecting that, and anyway, I'm going to explain that. Okay. Now let's compare it. Which one is better? Okay. Here I say LL based stack. Here I say array based stack. Okay. So if I don't know the size, how many elements is going to be pushed in my stack, okay, I'll prefer this one. The first size is unknown. I'll go with this one. I won't go with this one. If I know the size or expected, like so if I am expecting 100 and the elements is coming around 70 to 100, in the range of 70 to 100, I always prefer capacity is at the upper limit, right? If it is even more than 50% also, if it is going, then I'll prefer this one. If you can say fill rate more than 50%, then I'll also prefer this one. I can use this one also, but what is the disadvantage? So once you are here, this is array is very indexed based, right? And here, if you are adding one more node in the list, so what all operation you are doing? You first allocating the memory, okay? You will be assigning where it will be pointing. You will be assigning what previous node is pointing to this one. So obviously it will be using, instead of element memory, it will be using one extra memory, okay? So if you have 100 element and each is taking 4 byte, okay, and maybe this memory allocation to point node also take 4 byte, okay, this one is also taking 4 byte, then you are using 400 byte, 100 is there, right? So 400 byte plus 400 byte, so you are actually using 800 byte, right? But here in this case you will be only using 400, only 400 byte, and there is additional complexity is involved to pointing to this node, pointing to this node. So if there is 100, so if I'm just keeping 2 pointer into the consideration, okay, then so this is the new addition, okay, so it will be adding 2 times more, right? So if I am performing 200 operation, so it will be actually performing 200 into 2, 400 operation. But here it will be performing only 200 operation because it's indexed based, right? No need to do anything. And plus initialization of node that many times, that is the top complexity actually. So it should be actually 200 into 3, that is 600, but here it is only, if I am performing 200 operation, then it will be doing only 200 operation. So I hope now you can decide which one I should implement if I am implementing the stack. I hope I make sense.
Yes, Manish.
Okay, going to next topic is queue. So what I'll do, because so before class I just implemented this one so that I can show you, but for the queue I have not implemented. So I want you guys to implement the queue because it's almost similar. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to push this code in the GitHub. Clone it and try implementing. I'll explain that. Before that, I'll give you the challenges involved and then you need to implement. So that I thought of covering both topic in one day. That was the main reason I explained stack like directly from my code base. You guys have link of my GitHub, right? I'm anyway pasting it here. Okay, so if you go to my code in the case of queue here, let me first explain the queue concept and then you have to do. Meanwhile, you guys can clone the GitHub and try it. Okay, so let's move to the queue. So here we are going to explain about queue. Okay, so we explained stack just now, and that we called as at LIFO, last in first out. But here we say it as first in first out. What does it mean by first in first out? So one of the best example of stack is recursion. Whenever you are using recursion, you are using last in first out. But here, what is the best example of FIFO? So the best example of FIFO would be, suppose you are in the some counter, maybe if you are in cafeteria and you are waiting for food. So here is the food vendor, okay, who is delivering the food, and here are each person. So each person is coming, is just standing after the previous one. Okay, so new person is coming, will stand here. Okay, this person will get the food and go out. This person will get the food and go out. This person will get the food. So who came first to the serving counter got out first. So this is the first in first out concept. So I think you understood the queue concept. Okay, so suppose let me give you one good example. Suppose you are designing restaurant management system. Okay, so you know the waiting queues is there. Okay, so once you go to the restaurant, so there are fixed number of tables available in the restaurant. Let's say I'm assuming that each table size is only one. Only one person can sit on that chair, that table. Okay, okay, and here suppose all are full and some person is already occupied this chair. So for the new person who will be coming near to the restaurant, each one will be standing in queue or will be having some token. Maybe this guy will be having token number 1. This guy who is coming first will have token 1, 2, 3, similarly that. Suppose any of the, so this is queue implementation here. Okay, this may be array list or some other data structure here. Okay, suppose some guys leave and done with his dinner or lunch, he goes out. Okay, so obviously who is having the token 1 will get into the restaurant and will have dinner and lunch. Second time what will happen, if some other person go out, then the second person will go and have dinner or lunch. Similarly, the third time, first this go out, then this third guys will go. So this is very clear, I think. Okay, so again here also my idea is same. You can use any data structure, but here what operation I am doing in queue. One operation we call it as in queue. One operation we call it as dequeue. And one I can say first also, but let's park this one. Or we can say who is the first element, who will be the next contender to go into the restaurant. So this 3 operation is there. Again, my idea is I want to implement in order of 1 complexity, nothing more than that. Okay, So if we are using more than that, then fine, a lot of data structure is there. Even some people will say, we in Java we have already collection and we can use maybe queue data structure which is available, or maybe some linked hash map also I can use, right? But there is problem, right? If you are using linked hash map, then you are obviously taking more time also, and you are utilizing more space also. And again here space complexity is restricted to order of n only. Okay, so how we can do? So again we have two approach. We can use either array or linked list. Okay, so for queue also we'll have two ways we can do this three operation using two data structure. One is arrays and another one is queue. Okay, so let me first discuss how to do this using array. So what all problem is with array? First, let me explain the problem, then I'll ask you to implement your own so that you will get a better understanding. Very fine, we can use array. Let's say I have declared one data structure which is having size of 10. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it should be till 9, right? This is not needed. Okay. So this is the queue. People will come and join the queue. Okay. Suppose first guy came, he stand here. His number is, let's say one guy came. This is the second guy. This is the third guy, fourth guy, insert. Okay. Now the restaurant is empty. So this guy want to jump out. So if this guy jumps out, what will have? You have to shift this 3 person so that next time if you want to make someone remove from the list, you can always remove from the first, right? But what if you start thinking like this? Let me again draw one picture. Here I have only 5, for example. So here person 0 is there, 0 is there, 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. Wait 1 second. So person 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. Okay. He wants to jump out. Then what will have to do? You have to shift like this. Size will be the same of the array, right? It will have 5, but here 2 will be there. 2 will be shifted at the 0th index. 3 will be shifted here. 4 will be shifted here. So some shifting will happen. But what will be the disadvantage of shifting? So whenever you are popping, for pushing it's fine, cool. You can push till here. Okay. Here it's not needed. 5 is already there. So. Okay. So whenever you are pushing it, so it's fine. But in the case of popping, you are shifting, and what problem you have? You are started taking order of n complexity for popping. How we can improve that? Okay. So the next thing comes, how we can improve that? Okay. So to improve that, can we design something like this, so if I pushed it, I'll push it here, first node, second person I will push here, third person I will push here, fourth person I'll push here. If I have to pop, I'll pop this person out and I'll have one pointer which will be pointing where that person, the first person will be is available. So this pointer is pointing to here, and I'll pop it out and I'll assign this value to 0 and I'll shift this pointer to this one. Okay, I can pop the second person, then I'll make it 0 and I will assign this pointing to third. Okay, again what will happen, so again third person will be out, this will be pointing to fourth one. Okay, and this will be made 0. Okay, again suppose after this many operation, fifth and sixth person comes. Okay, so this pointer will be pointing to here, fifth, sixth comes. So all space is used, right? Whatever empty space we have, this 3 we have empty. If 7 comes and ask me, I want to enter in queue, what will happen? It will say I am full, I cannot insert more element, but there is already 3 spaces available. Why you are not utilizing it? Did you guys get what I'm trying to say? Although this 3 indexed space is empty, but 7 want to insert, but for 7 we don't have space where I should insert 7. If I am implementing the first pointer concept, like I have the first pointer from where my queue is starting, again we have some problem, right? Any question, guys? How we can solve this problem? So to solve this problem, okay, so you can implement the first approach also. So you can implement this way also, this way also. Okay, but I have to implement the best one, right? If someone asks me to implement Q in your interview question, then maybe person X will be implementing this way, person Y will be implementing this way, but person C, whose algorithm is best, maybe will think of implementing something different. So the current scenario is something like this. So this 2 or 3 element is need 0, and here is the head pointer, okay, which is pointing. Yeah, this is the index. I would say index, head index. That's better term. Okay, and here let's say 1, 2, 3 is there, and 4 want to insert. Why we should not try inserting here? If fifth is coming, then I'll insert here. If sixth is coming, I'll insert here. If 7 comes, then I'll say my stack, my queue is full and I cannot take more element. So this is called circular array. Okay, so but how we can know after this which index I should take? Okay, to understand this, let me make it very clear. Let me create one array of 10 size. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So this is the head index. Okay. So let's say 0 divided by 10 plus 1. What is the value? 1. I would say 0 modulus, not divided by. 1 modulus 10 plus 1. What is the value? 2. Now, if I say first pointer index divided by data dot length plus 1 will be the next place where we are assigning. So what will happen? So suppose here, this is the first index, suppose 9. So after 9, where I should place? So can we do right? 9 divided by 10 plus 1. So 9 modulus 10 is what? It's 9. 9 plus 1 is, okay, one second. I'm making one mistake, one silly mistake. Hold on. It should be actually second. Let me rub it once again. Here I'm creating size of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Suppose this is F. So F plus 1 modulo 10. So it will be 9 plus 1 modulo 10. It will be 0. Okay. Similarly, what will be the next? So suppose this 0 is having some element here. 5 was there. Now here let's see 6 is there. What will be the next? So again 0 plus 1 modulo 10. So it will be 1. So the next element will be there. Suppose 1. What will be the next position? So 1 plus 1 modulo 10. So it will be the 2. So this is the way we can calculate. And once what will happen? So this is reaching till here, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So once it reach here and after that there is also element, then we can say the stack is full, queue is full, and we can throw exception. I hope now it's clear. So we can use the modulo operator to implement the circular list. So obviously the size, okay, the size of the array, it's 10 till 9, right? So 10. So whatever index currently it's pointing, the first plus 1 modulo 10 will be giving you the next place where you can pointing. So earlier what you are doing, earlier you are just doing f plus 1. So after 9 what will happen? 10 will happen. So in 9 plus 1, 10 will happen. So what we can do, we can just modulo 10, then it will give 0. So it will be, the next will be pointing to 0. So this is how we can implement the circular array. So how we can implement this one? So we may think of having two more variable. One may be the f variable and one may be the size. What is the size? Because you don't know the size, right? We need to know the how many element present in the queue. So we'll use two more variable, and again we will internal data structure as a data only, and give a try to implement just in queue using this technique. Okay. So let me go here. Here you have queue, here array queue, here array queue. I have declared the capacity also. You have constructor ready. So if this one is implementing, just write implements queue. So it will ask to implement all the method, right? All the abstract method. So whatever method is there, so size and empty is, this is very simple, but try to write method for enqueue and dequeue. I think I have given the fundamental concept so that you can implement it. Right? So here you have start index, here number of elements in queue, or you can say size, and try implement it. And capacity, I make it as 100 by default. That is the size of this data, or you can, if you are passing this parameterized constructor, then you can declare. Okay, you guys have 10 to 15 minutes, and after that I'll start. Any question? Anyone solved? No, many people left. That's good. Okay, stuck in queue. What about Mayur, Rishikesh, Shubham? Hello, are you guys there? Oh, okay. Okay, let me recap it once again, and then I'll try to write the function along with. Okay. So this is also one coding problem only. So don't understand it's only implementation. Okay. So let me consider very generic case or the corner case. I think that is what we need to first understand. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 0.
Screen is not
Finish your screen.
Okay, okay. Sure. Now you are able to see, right?
Yeah. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So two things. I am talking about first in queue. Okay. So in queue, let's say this is my first pointer, first index. Okay. Here, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40 is there. Okay. What should be the next element? What should be the next position available where I should add the element? Right. So what is the size? Size is 4. What is f? F is 6. 6 plus 4 divided by modulo 10. What is that? 0, right? So if I do f plus size modulo n, or let's say the length of the data structure, then it's giving the next element where I need to add. Okay, I'll keep adding. Okay, so it's 50. F is again same, right? So F is 6. Size is 5. Modulo n is 10. So it's 11 divided by 10 is 1. So it's 60. Similarly, 6 plus 6 divided modulo 10, then here 70, 80, 90, 100. Here we can add. After that, we cannot add. So for enqueue, you got it. Okay. So let me first write the function of the enqueue. So the first condition we can write, if size is equal to data dot length Then I can throw overflow exception. Then directly throw overflow exception. Right? If not the case, then I need to calculate what is the next available space. So I can calculate int avail equal to f plus size modulo of n or capacity. So it will give some value. Then we can write data of avail is equal to whatever value you want to assign. And what you need to increment? You need to increment the size plus plus. That's it. You are done. Okay. Now let's consider. So this is the push function. So if I write it, it is a push. Next, let me try for pop. So again, I am creating 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have element starting from here. Maybe F is here. So let's say 10 is here, 20 is here, 30 is here, 40 is here, 50 is here, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, I need to pop. So where this F should point next. Okay, so if I write F plus 1 modulo 10, then 6 plus 1 modulo 10 will be giving you 7. So I'll delete this one. So if I write deque function here, so first thing what you are going to check, if empty or not, right? If is empty or not. If it is empty, then you can throw it, right? Throw underflow. Otherwise, the first thing what you will get, you can get answer. E answer is equal to data of F, because you are getting the first index, like whatever is at first pointer, what is pointing. Once that is done, then what you can do, whatever is there at data of F, you can make it a 0 or null. So here I'll make it 0, and then you can move F equal to F plus 1 modulo of 10 or n. Okay, now F will be pointing to this one. Okay, now this again will become 0. F will be pointing to this one here. For the last case, so 9 plus 1 modulo 10 is giving 0. So at the end, F is pointing to here. If I want to delete this one, then this is 0. And this F now will be pointing to this one. So we can use all the space. So this is efficient way, right? So we are using anything, like here we are popping it. So again, if everything becomes 0, so if size becomes 0, then only we cannot remove anything, deque anything. Okay, and if all the element is there, like even after popping all the element and we are pushing, so you can perform the operation. I hope it's clear to everyone, right? Or any question? I'm not sure whether other guys are there or not. Mayur, Rishikesh, Shubham, Sumit, what about all of you?
Yes, Manish.
It's clear,
You
right?
got it.
Okay. So, give a try. Okay. I think I have written already. Okay. Here I have written the function. Okay. Try to write this function. Okay. In case of DQ, I am just using F plus 1 model n modulus n. And in case of in Q, I am doing F plus size modulus n. That is the only difference we are doing. Otherwise, almost same. Here you will be checking the underflow condition. There you will be checking overflow condition. And the remaining thing you guys know. So if I have to write it here, then I can write it. So let me write here. If size is equal to data dot length I'm using another variable here, number of element in Q, then throw new illegal state exception. And we can give overflow. Right? What next? Int avail I need to get. So what I'll do, first index or head index, what variable I am using. So here I am using start index. So it's a start index. What happened? I am not able to see. Right? Data dot length. What next we can do? Data avail is equal to E. And after that, we can increase the size, right? So whatever element is there will increment plus plus. That's done. So this is simple in Q. If I want to do the DQ, then I'll checking first if size is equal to 0 or number of element present in is equal to 0, then return null or true, whatever way you want to do. What's next? I'll get answer first, right? Data of first start index. Spelling, oh, it's stat index actually. Okay, let me refactor is to start. Okay, so here start index. What next? I'll make whatever data was there at a start index pointing to null. I'll empty it, and then what we can do, we can change the start pointer, right? Start index is equal to start index plus 1 modulo data dot length. right? And will return answer. So few more method. First method is there. So this is very simple. If is empty, then return null. Otherwise, you can return data of start index, right? And this remaining function you can directly return, right? Return size number of elements in queue equal to 0. For size, we have one variable itself in this case. So return number of elements in queue. Okay, let's give a try how it goes on. And let me keep the size also 10. So we are creating the size of 10 length of data. And then we can do q dot in q 10, q dot in q 20, q dot in q 30. Okay. For now, debugging purpose, I'll add here one method to get this data array, right? So I'll insert here one getter to get the data so that we can print it. So here, arrays dot to string. Here you can write q dot get data. Let me try to run it. 10, 20, 30. Let me add more element. 6, 9, 10. Till here it should fine. It should be fine. If I try to add one more, then it should throw exception. Yeah, overflow. Okay, that's cool. Let me try to remove now everything. Only 4 is there, right? So I'll just write or let it be in queue. Now let me do some q dot dequeue. Okay. So from where it's dequeuing it, you can see that. See, from the beginning it's got dequeued, right? Now if I try to in q100 here, so it should be adding in the beginning. What is showing? It's overflow. Okay. It's overflow. Why? Size I am not decreasing or increasing. I'm doing something with the size. Let me check that once. Am I increasing the size here? I am increasing. Am I decreasing the size here? No, I'm not decreasing. That was the reason. Yes, 100 got added. Hope it's clear, right? Or any question? Great. Then enjoy. We'll solve arrays and stack and queues question in the next class. That's all. Thank you guys. Thank you for having patience and practicing. Any feedback or any question? Most welcome.
Manish, tomorrow's class will be stacks and
So we will be solving some classical problem related to stack and queue. Then we'll solve like lead code problem. So few classical problem you must have known about, the like you have 3 stacks and you have to rearrange the plates, something like that.
okay.
Yeah, even and another more is like you have some arithmetic operation with parentheses, you need to perform the calculation, some such type of very classical problem. Maybe like who are studying in college, like they know it. But yeah,
Okay.
first we'll solve those classical problem, then maybe from next week we'll solve a lot of stack and queues question. And this topic is very important, guys. Like so if you start solving moderate and hard question, so you will have to use like lot of stack and queue concept. That was the reason I thought of explaining this. So that's all about this thing. So other than that, even you can implement this queue using linked list, right? And obviously there will be the difference, and the like which one to choose. It's similar to stack, how we can choose it, which one we should choose. So even using singly linked list, you can, because as I remember, we have implemented add last and add first function. So here also you can do that. And there is one more concept called DQ, double-ended queue. So double-ended queue is nothing. So it's again academic thing. So from the front you can add and you can remove. From the end you can add and you can remove. So obviously implementation would be a bit fantastic. So if you have time, try implementing. We call it as deck. Try implementing deck using arrays. Using linked list, it should be easy, no doubt about that. But try using deck, implementing deck using array. So you will get more to know about this double-ended queue. And then you can solve any problem related to stack and queue. Like now I think like everyone is clear about the basic concept and the structure, internal implementation as well. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Manish.
Thanks, Manish.